Yo. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Auth0 channel. I am going to be working on a not side hobby project. It's going to turn into some content that I speak about at conferences, and you may not be able to hear me because actually my audio is over here. Was my audio off for a minute? I probably did that whole intro thing, and no one could hear me because I didn't actually have my mic. Let me know if you. Hopefully, it should be coming through good now. Anyway, so welcome to the Auth0 channel. I'm going to work on a project called either Dev Desk or Dev Setups. And it's a project where people can sign in and add pictures of their desk setups. Better now? Yes. Just a hair, quiet, great now, cool. Yeah, it was because I had this microphone over there, which is actually where the audio is coming through. I do Zoom meetings and I just use this thing. And then sometimes I forget to switch back and grab my mic anyway. So hopefully it's good now. And yeah, so I'm going to be hacking on a project called Dev Desk or Dev Setup, which I think some people have seen before probably. And this is, I got a design done from Mahmood, who is an Auth0 ambassador. Shout out to Mahmood. And does great content and design and just stuff in general. So he did a design in Figma and sent this over. And that's what I've basically been working on. And my goal is to get, I'm going to use this demo as part of a talk that I give in September 15th. I've got 3 talks that day, which is obnoxious, but I need to have at least an MVP version of this thing ready for September 15th. So that's the goal. That's what I'm working towards. And I've got this design that I'm basically just trying to implement. And I've got some of this stuff already set up and working. So anyway, before we actually dive into that, how are people doing in the chat? Walker and Lawrence are here. How are y'all doing? Are y'all working on anything specific? Just hanging out? What's going on? Want to see hopefully some cool stuff on your end. It's almost, I feel like it should be Friday. It's been a long week for me. I'm tired. Taylor Johnson, what's up? This looks great. Thank you. Again, I owe a lot of this to, I'll pull up his Twitter. People should go follow him as well. Grab his link. But Mahmood did the design, and I was just able to copy, not all of it yet, but at least part of it to make it look decent. And I've got some functionality and stuff to work on. So anyway, he does awesome stuff. If you haven't seen or followed him before, you totally should. Taylor, are you working on anything cool? Lawrence just realized it's not Wednesday. There's that. Yes. Well, that means it's one day closer to Friday, which is good, right? It is kind of hard to believe. In some ways it's been a long week, but also in some ways it's gone by really quickly, I guess. If that's, does that work? I feel like that's weird. Oh, Faraday Academy, what's up? With a party of 35. What is up? Thanks for coming in and joining. Faraday, what were you streaming about? What did you just wrap up? And welcome again, everyone. Big party. I'll have to we'll have to start this all over. I actually just started 2 minutes ago, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you're in the chat, if you just rated over, say hi. Let me know a fun fact about yourself if you have one. And Gwen, thanks for bringing everybody over. Fair day, Gwen. Good. We just got started, and the plan is to work on this app called either Dev Setups or Dev Desks, which I'd be curious if people have an opinion on that. Let me know. And anyway, so this is an idea that I had of kind of building a couple of different technologies together: Airtable, Cloudinary, React, Auth0, and Tailwind. Putting some fun stuff together to just let people show off their setups, their desk setups. Because we have these Twitter threads all the time about what people's setups are. And I figure, why don't we just have one aggregated place to do this? So anyway, that's what the goal is. This is a design that I got from my friend and Auth0 ambassador, Mahmood. And he did the design. I've done a decent amount of it. And then now I'm just kind of working out some of the final functionality. I need to have this ready in a week and a half. So That's what I'm working on. Also, fun fact a couple of fun facts in here, which is pretty cool. Taylor Johnson, you presented at a local React meetup, you're presenting at a local React meetup next Tuesday. Awesome. What are you presenting on? Maybe I'll try to check that out. If you have a link to the meetup, throw it in the chat so other people can see. And fun fact from JMS Gears about the Rubik's Cube, you can solve in roughly 14 seconds. I can solve in a minute, and I feel like I'm pretty competitive. And 14 seconds is insane. I would love to see a video of you solving in 14 seconds. That would be wild. So if you have a link to a video where you've done that, let me know. Just learning the basics of solving. Yeah, Rubik's Cubes became, and by the way, this is always my fun fact. In like my bio and stuff, I always throw this in there that I can solve it in a minute. But it was like a really popular thing for us in high school, honestly. Like we got really competitive with each other of like seeing how fast we could do it, like creating patterns and like helping or like giving a pattern to someone to solve. I don't know. It was just, we had a lot of fun with it. And Taylor just sent, I'm gonna pull open this meetup. So this is the one, Taylor, that I'm speaking at. This is the same one. I think this is the same one we talked about. I'll throw this. Yeah, it's already in the chat. In lightning talks. That's a cool idea. Like not just lightning talks, but in lightning talks. So you are talking about compound. So I don't know. I have no idea what compound components is actually. Do people know what compound components are? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. This may be a cool new thing. Gwen says, Faraday Academy says there's a cool cubing documentary on Netflix. What? I didn't know that. That's cool. I didn't know. You can also take apart the cube and put it together. That works too. Yeah, I wonder what the fastest like someone can take apart a cube and put it back together is. Because I guarantee you a person could solve it faster than you can actually like take it apart and put it back together. But as long as you get it back together in the end, that's all that really matters. Toothpaste is a compound. I'm assuming these that's not the kind of compounds that they're talking about, but I don't know. So it may just be maybe talking about toothpaste. Who knows? People can solve in like 6 seconds on average now. It's insane. Yeah, I don't even know how they do that. But Taylor says it's a way to compose related UI and or logic components. Cool. And obviously toothpaste. Sweet. Awesome. Maybe I'll try to check it out next Tuesday. Cool. Tech Gadget just joined from the Discord. What's up, Tech Gadget? Human is a mixture of several compounds, hence a complex compound makes sense. Sounds like another silly band-aid for React. I'm assuming Jared is not a React fan as he comments with Vue for Life. Yeah, no worries. I actually would be curious. So technologies that I'm using in this demo here, React, first of all, and Cloudinary for image management. I want to show you that. So Cloudinary for media management, and then let's see here, and then Airtable to store some information about the user and a link to their image. Pull that open too. Anyway, so yeah, Faraday. Jared is making it very obvious. Vue for Life, cool. I welcome all of that. What other are people familiar with Cloudinary and Airtable? Have you heard of those before? And also, do you love React? Do you hate it? Are you a Vue fan? Are you on Jared's side or my side, or whose side are you on? Feel free to let me know in the chat too. I see a couple of no's. What is that a no? Why does Google look so much? Why does my Google look so much better than yours? What does my Google look like? I don't even know. Tech Gadget is a Vue user. Taylor Johnson's felt love. Talk to Brad Garapi. I don't know if he'll join and hang out with us today or not. No to Airtable and no to Cloud something. Fair enough. Yeah. So let's just take a look through it together. So Airtable is basically an Excel sheet or like a Google sheet thing. That's a database. It's like literally what it is. It's pretty sweet. And so I've got a dev setups database here, and then inside of there, I've got a table. And what's going to happen is in this app, I'll show you this really quickly. There's the ability to log in with your Twitter account. So all of these threads on Twitter about people's desk setups, are on Twitter, so I figured logging in with Twitter would make sense. But actually, let me log out and just show you that login process. This is using Auth0 for authentication. I've got it configured for Twitter, and I can log in with my Twitter. It'll take me back to the application. And in my profile, this is like public profile. So you can see like anyone's public profile that includes like their desk setup, which ignore these images. These are not these people's real images. These are just test things. And then inside of my profile, there's the ability for me to edit my information. So there's two links that will basically link people to for a profile. One is their Twitter. So here's a link to my Twitter based on my username. And then also you can enter in like a link in general, but like your uses page. And if you've ever seen uses.tech, this is a project from Wes Boss, which is similar. It just doesn't have images of people's setups. So on here, like you can see different pieces of information about people, including a link to their uses page. On mine, the main thing is that you'll be able to see their actual desk setup. So in theory, this is just a way for you can go to see everybody's setup and just kind of see what they got. And then they can also link you to their uses page. So I've got mine linked in. Oh, I need to make that go to an external page, but there's a link to my uses page. Those IDs are borrowed from Twitter. Are you talking about the user ID? This or which Amit, I'm not sure which IDs are you talking about. I'm not sure which one you're asking about there. By the way, Gwen, I don't know if you said it in the comments or not. What did you just get done streaming about? What were you talking about? And Amit, if you let me know what IDs you're asking about, I can answer that. So inside of, let's just break. What happened actually? This is the beauty of testing stuff. Unexpected error, that's good. We are building a Vue.js desktop with NW.js. I've never heard of that. What is that? NW.js. No idea. Download stable. Node WebKit lets you call all node modules directly from the DOM? What? Wild. Huh. Used to be called Node. Okay, I've never heard of this. This is new to me. Interesting. So what's the biggest use case? Like what kind of node modules would you be calling directly from the DOM? Any common things? It's basically a competitor. Okay, so a competitor to that makes sense. Okay, so you have the ability to tie in like building desktop applications using the node APIs, but desktop. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I've heard of Electron and use those. I haven't really used it. I've like taken a course on it, but I have never heard of NW. So that's cool. Thanks for sharing that. And now I feel less bad for watching Twitch while working. Nice. Swarlow is here. You keep missing streams. You keep missing my streams. I feel like I've seen you in my streams. It also sounds like I see you in my dreams, which sounds weird, but I don't. All right, so on this page, I've got the edit button. I can edit my uses page. So this is where a user can update that and save it. And this will go and actually save that information inside of Airtable. So that stuff is working pretty good. The thing, actually, I would love to deploy this and have some people test this out in a minute. The thing that I don't have working that I need to get before I actually put it out there for you to test out is the ability to edit your image. And this is a trickier thing than you might have thought. Like it's trickier than I thought it would be in a weird way. But I want to, I need to update some stuff. I had the ability to update it, to change the image, and then I reorganized how this stuff was put into components. And if people look at the code and they have suggestions, I would love that. But let me actually grab you that link, and then people can go and test it out as well. I need to go and organize more stories in here or features or issues for people to potentially take on if you wanted to help out. That would be super, super cool. Let me grab the link to the repo just in case. Literally in a Zoom meeting right now watching. Nice. It's funny. When I started this stream, I played like a 5-minute countdown.
And while I was live, but me not on there yet, I was listening to another stream from Chris on Code, who, if you don't follow Chris on Code on Twitch and everywhere, you should totally do that too. I don't know. Can I just type Chris on Code? I guess you can like fill in the prefix of twitch.tv, but I think he's still going too. Don't leave me for him, but he is still going and he's awesome. So check him out. So James, quick, is you cool? I thought you were grabbing some random. Oh, yes, I am James. That is me. I'm not stealing anybody's account. Taylor would like to help. Would be cool to see the other side of the desk of our favorite streamers. Absolutely. Yeah. Here's an idea. And I want to make this happen. I'm planning on making this happen. But in October, Hacktoberfest is coming up. And I have never completed Hacktoberfest. I've never gotten a Hacktoberfest shirt. And I'm literally the worst. Like, there's no reason why I shouldn't have done it. I just never have. So my envision is to run a series of streams in October where we build a project together with the community. Like, we come up with the idea on the stream, we create a repo, we add people to it, we come up with issues, and then collectively we take issues and build it together so everybody gets to win Oktoberfest. Or not win, not Oktoberfest, Hacktoberfest. So hacking Hacktober. Yeah, it's not like, yes, but it's not hacking. Like, we're actually building something. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, like, seems like some people are at least into that. This is a little selfish, but if you actually are into that, that's my plan with doing that on the Auth0 channel in October. So selfishly, if you haven't followed the Auth0 channel yet, make sure to follow, or you can follow me on Twitter and I'll announce it. But that's what my plan is. So we'll have, like, I don't know if we'll do like 1 a week, 2 a week, maybe. And we'll start off by just like planning out an idea, something like dev setups. I think be cool to experiment with different technologies, put it all together and have something to show for it. But we'll come up with an idea. We'll build a repo. We will come up with issues, have those for people to like take and set up a project board. We'll do all of that together. And you can do your PRs to get credit for Hacktoberfest and get a shirt. And I'm getting my freaking shirt this year. It's so ridiculous how I've never gotten a shirt from Hacktoberfest, but this year is the year. Question from Jared about Airtable for project management or to host API data. I'm using Airtable in this case and for other demos just as a database. So this is just a data source of some sort. I use Trello for my personal like project management stuff, not Airtable, but Airtable is pretty cool for that stuff too. So Tech Gadget, heads up, you don't actually need to have your 2 PRs merged to be qualified. So you just have to create them with like 6 PRs that were all eligible. I thought it was 3. Is it just 2? I don't know. Is there a Hacktoberfest like landing page now? Hacktoberfest. Let's see. Oh, that site looks badass. I love this. Open source encourages complete the challenge. But what's the challenge? What is the challenge? I don't actually see the challenge. Huh, maybe they're waiting on details. DigitalOcean did such a great branding on this, by the way. Like just the whole idea is great, and then the website looks sick and all of that. Like dark mode, this is cool. There was a video I scrolled past, this one. Also, for those who are curious, I watch everything at 2 times speed on I'm watching this now. Challenge is trying to figure out what the challenge is. Yeah, that's funny. So that's a cool hype video, but I don't think it said specifically. I don't think that said specifically how many PRs. Tech Gadget. So it's 4 this year. Okay, but that's perfect. This is the kind of thing that we have a legit reason to do it. We want to build a community around it in a month, and I think it will be super fun. And we'll come out with something that we could share and all be kind of proud of. So I think it's gonna be cool. If you haven't already, follow the Auth0 channel. or follow me on Twitter. I'll announce it. I'll bring everybody in, and we will build something cool and get some swag and t-shirts and stuff. Jared, this year's challenge is to watch videos at 0.5 speed. Absolutely not. I will never, ever, ever in my life do that because I don't have time. That's how I watch everything at 2 times speed. And anytime I like listen to something at regular speed or watch something at regular speed, it just feels odd to me because I listen to everything at 2 times speed. I do 2 times speed, not 1.5. That's just me. Does this say on here getting started participation rules? Make 4 PRs between October 1st and 31st. Cool. Well, narrative, sorry. And welcome, narrative. No, I don't listen to songs at 2 times speed. Fair enough. That's a great clarification. And I don't watch like Netflix shows at 2 times speed. Anything like technical content wise, I watch at two times speed. Somebody had a question about, I think it's Amit, of where do we store the images? These images are all inside of Cloudinary. So mentioned Cloudinary earlier, hadn't really looked into it yet, but I've got a folder inside of Cloudinary for dev setup. So here's got some test images in here as well. I'm gonna get rid of this one because that's not being used. And there's my placeholder. Anyway, so all the images are inside of here. Cloudinary, if you've never seen it before, one, you should definitely check it out. You should sign up for a free account. They can do all these amazing transformations just by like swapping out properties in a URL, like to convert it to different sizes and do different scalings and things like that. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. So I'm using Cloudinary. So what happens is I'm using serverless functions. So when a user submits an image to a serverless function, it then saves it into Cloudinary and then saves that URL inside, or the ID of that image inside of Airtable along with the user information. So you get the image ID, you get the user's link to their users page if they add one, and then a description. The description will come from Twitter eventually, but right now I'm just kind of hacking it together. Yep. Yeah, users.tech is more about the overall setup, and this is the physical. Yeah, just a picture is really the big thing that I thought was missing. So that's kind of why I did this, and I thought it would be fun anyway. So. Oh, I'm tired, talking a lot. So I've got this working. What I need to do is come in and update the ability, or give the ability to upload an image. And I don't know why. Did I change this? I don't know why I changed that thing or commented that. Yeah, I need to figure that out. Anyway, so inside of here on the profile page, it's a little bit weird because I'm showing this image. And then I've got, I only show the edit button if it's my profile. And I haven't, and maybe I could do this differently. Maybe it would be worth doing this. But like right now, the link for my profile is /user/JamesQQuick, which is the same path as if you went to someone else's page, if that makes sense. So /user/. I don't have like a /edit for profile. I just have the edit button built in and it'll just toggle this on and off. So what I need to do is update the image here, and this is being shown right in here. I need to update that image for that to be clickable, but only if the user is logged in, if that makes sense. And it's their image. And how? See, it's weird. It's not just about being logged in. It's also being logged in and then also being their own profile. I'm thinking, kind of out loud, I'm thinking I might actually switch this for this to be a profile route where I go to edit my own profile, if that makes sense. And then I wouldn't even have to have like an edit button necessarily. I don't know. Any suggestions on that? I don't know. Does that even make sense what I'm asking? I think it will simplify things though. So that makes sense. Cool. So instead of, or in addition to user/username, I'm going to create another route, and this will just be /profile, and this can show the profile component too. That's fine for now. So I'm going to let's actually open up the public profile, and let's use that as the route component. So inside the username, we'll do the public profile. I have, okay, so that's imported. And in the public profile, I have this profile wrapper thing, which I'm thinking I may not need anymore. And what is something is returning null? Does public profile not? Oh, that's because of this thing, because I'm not passing anything in there. So inside of this public profile, I need to go and grab the profile information, and that is actually taking place right now inside of this other thing. So I'm going to copy some of this code over. I'm just doing like some migration here. So I apologize. This will take a second. We'll have the load user stuff. We are setting that into the saved user. So we'll grab this thing. And I don't need an is loading in here, but different. And then we do need to get the params, and we won't get the user from there. And we'll need to import. Can I not get IntelliSense on that? Nope. But I can if I type it in. Use callback. It's an import. And same thing on use state. Except for not that one. Give me the import. There we go. All right, so there's our state. We will load the user and we'll do it like that. The params username shouldn't change. And this thing is the profile wrapper, which I think I'm going to end up getting rid of that too. So the let's actually grab the image thingy and just throw that. Let's get rid of this wrapper. I think I might come back to the wrapper. I don't know. Still figuring this out. And we'll just make that an empty tag. And this is saved user and saved user. Saved user. And import these things. This is where I'm just kind of fumbling around. I guess it's not going to give me. Let's grab those imports. Grab those. And is it the image tag from here as well? From Cloudinary React? Have people used Cloudinary before? I know a couple of people said they hadn't heard of it. You can get browser plugins to make it 3 or 3.5. Get through videos and books much more quickly. Fairday, do you actually listen to stuff at 3? I did some stuff at 3 for a little while, and then I had to back down. That's a lot of. It's really fast. But I imagine, I mean, it's one of those things that you just get more used to, right? Like, I don't know. I imagine that's something you get used to after a while. Am I not loading the user anymore? Let's comment that out. Let's see what we got on this page. Broken something. What is this? Cannot read property username of undefined. Where does params? Oh, it comes from match.params. So match and then param like this. Do people use like nested destructuring? Sometimes I feel like it's kind of gross. Sometimes it's not bad. So I don't know if that's something people use and like. And I'm still missing something. Cannot read image ID of null. And this should basically just be like love Cloudinary from Swallow. Are you using it on anything fun? Anything you have that you can share? I'd love to see it. So I basically just want to, like, if, and this is where I should probably do some sort of like React query or something, but I'm going to put it in there for now. Use state, start off with a true. And if loading, return, and this is where I'll need some help from people of like making this like have more than just functionality. So if is loading, because this is just going to look ugly. Conditionally render this whole thing. Yeah, so while we're loading and there's no user, oh, then we need to update. So then set is loading to false. And then we should track an error and things if that happens. So we got some other stuff to figure out. Is that updating? Did it make a network call? Let's see. Let's refresh this page and see if it makes that call. Do I have this? Can I clear those? It doesn't seem to be coming back. I'm not sure. Oh, because we don't have the use callback or use effect. That's why. Use effect. And in there, we will call on the first render, we will call the load user. Barlow, one annoying thing is that their React library doesn't have TypeScript types available yet. Interesting. I didn't know that. They're coming out with a JavaScript SDK 2.0 that I'm going to get to check out, which I'm excited about. Maybe that will help fix some of that. I don't know. Maybe it does. Grab this profile wrapper thingy, and this is where I want to have just these two things. See, all that stuff that I had wasn't necessary, I don't think. So these should go underneath the image, I think. So like that. And this is saved user. What does that look like? And then I also had, was it in this thing? So this thing, the username. Dun, 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 dun. So that seems like it will be okay. I think that seems good. These links actually still need to go externally. And I don't know if other people have this problem. I can never remember how to do like the target equals blank. And then there's also the like refer, no refer thing. I never remember how to do that. So I wrote a little blog post that I go back to all the time on my site down here, and I just copy it every time. So the rel equals no opener, no refer. Can never, yeah. See, Taylor, you say no refer, no opener. I wouldn't have even gotten like the rel part. I would have forgotten that too. So then we'll add it to this one too. Although the core JavaScript library does have TypeScript support. Oh, but the React one specifically doesn't. Gotcha. Okay, interesting. Do you know anyone at Cloudinary? Have you like, if you submit, or I can submit some feedback for you on behalf of you, if you think it would be useful. I think they're always looking for feedback from the community. So this should open up my Twitter in a new page, and this should open up my users page in a new page. I want to make that cooler. And then if I go back, we should be able to get other people's profiles as well. So there's CodeStacker, and CodeStacker doesn't have a link up here, just the Twitter. So I think that does what it's supposed to. Sweet. So now I need to get into doing the actual like updating of a profile. Hope you're using no openers. So I feel so dumb for not knowing this. Like this is where imposter syndrome kicks in for like everyone, including myself. I like, what does no opener actually do, James? Like, I feel like I've read this before and I was like, okay, I thought I got it. And now I realize I don't. Like, what does no opener actually do? You can drop some, and welcome, by the way. Shout out to, I don't watch your YouTube. I've watched several of your YouTube videos. Do you have a video dedicated to no openers? But I do watch. I've watched several of the next ones, or at least two of them. I have one on this. Okay, I will make sure. So James, go ahead and throw a link in the chat to your YouTube so that other people can see it, as well as remind myself. They said they have other stuff that is higher priority. I wonder how difficult, Swarlow, it would be to add TypeScript typings as a PR. Like I talk about PRs like they make sense, but like I've never done many PRs. Like it's just a hard thing to do to like jump into a project for something like that, unless you're pretty intimate with it. So. All right. By the way, James, I'm wondering, like, this is probably where you would look for something in like SWR with Next or like React Query. But in this thing, like I'm doing the manual, like is loading Boolean, and I could have like an error here to show us something went wrong, that kind of stuff. Like I think that's one of the small benefits of just having like a reusable fetch hook that you can use to like not have to rewrite this logic all the time. Like it'll make the request and then update the is loading and the error property appropriately. TLDR, people can hijack the code and insert a dummy page for naughty stuff. Okay. So how, well, see, and then this is where like my deeper question is like, okay, well, how does that thing specifically prevent it? But here's what I'll do. I've got that tab open and I won't close that tab until I watch that video. So it'll be after the stream, but I will leave that tab open until I watch it. Fair? Hopefully. All right. So this would be like the public profile. And the problem I have, I'm going to get rid of this profile wrapper, I think. I don't have anything in there that I'd need with that. So let's get rid of profile wrapper. And I'm probably referencing it somewhere else. And I'll just do a search for it and not import it there. So there's profile wrapper. And the edit profile has that as well. So let's get rid of this, get rid of this. All right. And so the public profile should stay the same. That should work. If I go to my profile, I need to fix this. So yeah, I will fix the navbar link for the profile to not go to user/user thingy, but profile. All right, so here it will take me to the profile page, and this is where, what did I say I was showing on that page in app.js? Not the, what is profile actually? Where was I just working? In public profile. So then in profile, gosh, see, I don't know how to differentiate these things because I'm going to need some of the same logic. And maybe that's a great use case for like a hook, for like a get saved user hook or something like that. Because I need the information that's saved in Airtable, unfortunately. Or do I? Yeah, I do. What's up, Tanner? How's it going? Custom hook to reuse the logic. Yeah, I think we should. So let's do a new folder with SWR. You can use mutate, and that would, mutate is a really odd word, by the way. Like, I'm really trying to put this stuff together, but mutate is an odd word for me because it doesn't, I don't understand why that's a mutate. Like, it should be a fetch or like a refetch. So I've never quite understood like the use of mutate. So anyway, is it worth, gosh, see, this is pushing me into like my uncomfortableness, my stubbornness, but I have wanted to try it. So maybe, is there a particular reason, James, that you like SWR versus React Query? Is it just because SWR, is it created by Next? It's just more like common with Next. Is that right? And I think, so if there's, I still don't quite understand how the caching mechanism works with those, but not having, if I could keep a cache so I'm not having to load it, that's why Next and SWR are the same people. Okay. Since I'm not using Next, I'm going to go for React Query, and I'm going to try this out. And I want to try out both at some point. So let's do, I'm just going to pull this open on NPM. I eventually want to actually move this to Next. I think it would actually be a lot better that way. But for now, we'll do this. So where's the install? Oh, do I need to go to like the GitHub page for it? React Query has the same idea, yeah. And I watched the video by Tanner the other day. Oh, does this not have, where's like the getting started? Oh, React Query, TanStack, cool. Congrats on the new course, James Perkins. Yeah, shout out to James. Totally forgot about that. Oh, I meant to mention this earlier. James and I are going to be streaming on my personal channel on Saturday at 1 p.m. Central, I think. And we're going to talk about content creation, course creation, and his new course, which, James, go ahead and throw a link to that course in there as well for people to see. All right, where is... So where's the get started? Big, huge button that I just missed. Installation. All right, let's do this. I'm diving in. We'll see how this works. So we'll install that thing. I'm gonna grab a seat. And by grab a seat, I mean like lower my desk and sit down. And when React query is going, see DevTools. Oh, I didn't know about this. I probably want to have these. I've heard other people mention the DevTools. Is it not a dev dependency? It's not. Okay. So you need to have that regardless. That's interesting. So it looks like you just import this thing into your app. And I do love this whole lowercase blogging digital garden trend that's starting. What do you mean by lowercase b? What do you mean, Tech Gadget? And does it matter where I throw this thing in the app? So if I look in app, the rest of your application, the closer it is to the root of the page, the better. Can I just throw it at the top? Oh, it's not that. All right, query DevTools. Initial is open. Quoting Chris Piscardi on that. Well, I heard stuff about React Query. Would really like to try it when I have a chance. Yeah, well, let's try it out together. Is what we'll do. What is this thing? Is that initial? Is like they didn't have a value. I don't get how that. Should I copy that? I don't know what that is. All right. So then the quick start. So we get into to-dos query. All right. This is where I start to feel that's a prop that goes into it. So, I mean, yeah. So like we need to set it to a value, right? Initial, see you, Walker. Thanks for coming. Initial is open. I assume that's a true or false, but I would have expected it to tell me that because it's not showing that in the docs, right? That's probably a Boolean. Yeah, I assumed. But that's also, you don't have to Boolean it. Like, does this just mean true? Does that default to true? Is that how that works? If you don't specify a value, is that set to true? I feel like I tried that before and it didn't work with something else random. Okay. I didn't know that. Cool. Okay. Well, that works. All right. So inside of here, use query, use mutation, get to-dos. So this to-dos thing is like it's a unique identifier for it. James, I remember you talking about, well, you were talking about SWR. I think it's the same thing here. This is a unique identifier for this query. And then you tell it a get to-dos function that is in an API of some sort. And see this stuff, I don't, to-dos query dot data dot map. And does it show you where? You're saying, oh, zoom in. This is some of the stuff that I'm getting confused about. This example briefly illustrates 3 core concepts of queries, mutations, and query invalidation. Okay. Make up the core function. Next, we'll go over each of these. Okay, so videos and talks. I've seen that, and I still was a little confused. Comparison. If you had a linter running, it will shout at you for assigning true. Oh, if like it'll tell you not to assign it to true. Is that what you're saying? That's interesting. So I guess we'll just go down to queries. So in React query, query is a declarative dependency, some asynchronous data. You use query, you have a unique key for the query, and then an asynchronous function, which is to load it. Okay, that makes sense. And you get back things like is loading. So this is where I said, like, I acknowledge I was doing some boilerplate code error, is error, data, and then error. I guess you'd need that Boolean. I'm not sure. So that makes sense. If Booleans aren't your thing, you can also use the status string to do the same. Interesting. Query keys, array keys, custom key variables. So the one thing I'm looking for is an example of one of those asynchronous functions. And I'm assuming it's just doing like a fetch request, but I kind of want to see one. I would say that seems like it's missing for me, just because I want to know exactly what this function looks like. Let's see, getting started, query. Okay, so here's an example of doing the same stuff I was just doing without using it, I think. And then use query hook. So this is using Axios, and it's just a function that makes a request. Okay, so maybe in utils I can have a queries.js and export default an object like that, and then we'll say const get saved user equals async, and then we'll export get saved user. All right, so in this function, I don't need to handle error cases, and it sounds like if there's an error, React query will catch it and handle it for me. So I just need to call, wow, what is that? I don't know what that IntelliSense was. James, yes. James has been like in his head and also a little bit in chat, just like yelling at me constantly. You like one day you'll get it, and one day I'll convince you, and one day things will be so much better than they are now. Maybe, we'll see. All right, so I just want to call a fetch, and then I want to type in, I guess I need a user ID that comes in here. Does that work? I'll have to, so maybe I pass a function that passes a user ID that calls that? I don't know. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. But we need a user ID, and then inside of like public profile, it's making a request to this thing. So I guess literally just like await fetch. I don't. Is that not the built-in? Oh, because a WALT is not a thing. Await, and then this should be, oh, user name instead of user ID. Yeah. Oh, and that thing's not a thing. So that is what I would need. Does that seem right? And the beauty, I'm thinking, of this is all of this shit goes away, to your point. Don't need to have that. I could still have this, but then now I need to import use query up here. And then I use the use query like this. A WALT. Yes, a WALT should be a thing. We'll figure it out. And this is not going to be that thing. We will import the get saved user from import get saved user from utils and queries. Oh man, you're totally getting it now. Does it convert the response from JSON for you? Oh, I don't think it does actually. I think that's part of the reason why Axios makes it look so much simpler. Await fetch. And do I need to return this thing too? I do this. Oh, return. Oh, return. JSON. I feel like you shouldn't do this, but I think technically you can. I think. We'll have to see if that works. I'm not exactly sure. Just set it to a const. I mean, I know I can, and that's what I usually do. Let me see if this works, and then I want to clean it up because I'm kind of proud about how ridiculous that logic looks. And I want to see if it works. Okay. No, what are we knowing about? All right, I'm gonna just load. Don't be like you. Air data. I'm just gonna log all of these things to see what I'm getting. And none of this is running. So let's start it up with Netlify dev. I'm like entertained at the potential for this. Also, how long is Chris on Code? I was hoping he was going to raid over here, and Chris on Code has been streaming for like at least an hour and a half. All right, let's come back. I don't know if any of this shit is going to work. So let's look in our console and log some stuff out for me. Get saved user is not exported. Am I not doing this right? Export. Can you not export a default like that? Still hammering away on his Google Reader. Am I making this up? Is that not allowed? Is that just like module that exports? That's fine. Can I just do this? Does that work? Oh, there's the interesting. There's the dev tool stuff. And use effect is defined. Yes, okay. I'll get rid of that. Use callback. Go away. He was doing some React Tailwind stuff. Cool. Why am I not issue detecting? The new issues tab. Indicate whether to send a cookie. I don't think that's a problem that I'm dealing with now. So they've got a couple of things in here that are, I feel like I'm getting more. Anyway, look at the network tab, see if the query was made. Fair enough. It might be my broken ass code. Maybe what it is. And I can't tell, why is this not, oh, preserve. I don't want that. Don't preserve. Now let's see what we're making. That's because I'm on the wrong page. I should be on the public profile. So that would be this thingy. Okay, there's the request to. There's a request going out, and I think it failed. That's not a user. And because this should be a function that calls get saved user with params.user name. Now, the only thing I'm wondering about is, like, if they get to this page and there is no username, what do we do then? I'm not sure about that. So we'll see. Okay, so that's coming back. So that looks like it's good. And then what we need is, like, if is loading, return loading. That should still work. You will do a return function if no user. So if not is loading and not data, didn't get a user, something like that. All right. So what are the different breakdowns of those? So is loading is false and then null for error. So no error, then we get data, and data is just the user. Can I rename data here immediately like that? Now that's some fancy shit. I love doing that. That's a cool trick. now. Although the first part of that you don't need. Which part of that do I not need? It's either loading or it's not, but I need to know the difference between. But there won't be. So yeah, I'm missing something then. Because I want to make sure that it's done loading before I check to see. Oh, you're saying because I'm already checking it here. That's what you're saying? Because it will already have returned. It will return. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yep, you're right. Good call. Okay, so that works. And then I've been here before in a couple of different instances. I don't want this. This is what I've never quite understood that. Is why it makes those requests. So let's see. Disabling global background fetch. Okay. Infinite queries, prefetching. Like I really just want to tell it when to update itself. Is really what I want it to do. And the one thing, so when it talks about the cache, I still don't know where it's saving stuff for the cache. And the only reason I care is like this is actually, it doesn't look like it's like checking to see, it's actually making a request. Each fetch it does, it saves it in memory, so it won't do a full fetch. How is it not doing a full fetch though? Unless it's expired. Okay. Is an expired thing look inside of what? The network request or inside of what? Which actually maybe we're talking about fetch loop. Did I do that? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Fetch saved user. So what would I be looking at here? I mean, this is making an HTTP request. Like this is going out to the server and it's not doing like a 300 or whatever it is where it pulls it from cache. And it has, like, it doesn't show any of them as stale. Look at the second one. I mean, these are still doing, I mean, these are responses that come back from the server. Like a 200 is saying that it went to the server and did it all. Right? Oh, but these bytes are different. Okay. So it's coming back with a very small response. But I don't know if so what are those bytes then? Because this still has like a user object in it. So I'm not sure what it's doing. What I would like is it to just keep that stuff in a cache in memory until I tell it to redo it. It stores it in memory and the bytes are to check if they need to revalidate the bytes. But how is there something, and again, this is like for me trying to understand, is there something inherent in this HTTP request that lets me know that it's not going to the server? Actually, here's something we could do is get user inside of my function. Let's do this. All right. So we'll load the page and that should make log of getting user. And then so that's what's confusing me is like I feel like you're really de-optimizing things by default. That's what I don't understand. Because it's making like it's making the same request to the actual serverless function each time. But there should be a way to like turn it off using regular use state. Fetching. Oh, and then they turn into, oh, so use mutation is just for doing like posts and stuff. Okay. That's fine. If you want to insert a new text, and then we see it's do the query cache utility. Query cache is a utility instance that contains many functions that you can use to further manipulate queries. This might not be on by default. What is there? Can you tell me what's the name of the setting you think? Query cache set the stale time. React query stale time. Oh, that's a different thing. Does anybody have any like stale? I don't know where to. Stale time. The time in milliseconds the cache data remains fresh. After a successful cache update, the cache data will become stale. If set to infinity, query will never go stale. Yeah, James, what are you talking about in there? So like another thing I'm not understanding is like this never shows data as being stale. Like this thing doesn't show that I've got a stale query, but somehow it's still making that request. So I'm confused by that also. So I remember SWR doing a similar thing where it was making queries and I didn't understand why. Even when I tried to turn it off, when I tried it, whatever it was that day, like it didn't work. Stale cache. I'm sorry. Apparently Siri thought I was talking to her. Not talking to you, Siri. Refetch on connect, refetch on window focus. So that's one of the things that it's doing, I think. So we can probably set that to false. Where does this actually go? Use query and then a config object. Okay. So where am I? In here. This takes a config object and we'll set this to false. All right. So that should turn, hopefully, the tabbing away. Okay, that works. And now I'm kind of curious. So what is the stale time? I want to see what happens if I set this to be something really small. 100 milliseconds. That should be every second, right? So like this thing, did I do it right? Let's see. Stale time. In milliseconds, that cache data remains fresh. After a successful cache update, the cache data will become stale after this duration. So why does this thing not show me stale? Fresh. Why does it show me that data is fresh instead of stale? If I added stale time to 100. Probably as you need to request again. What do you mean by? So it's not constantly aware of whether or not it's. Turn the focus back on here. Like click on the page. Did you refresh the page? No. I was thinking stale time, or like the fact that it's stale is like tracked automatically. Sorry, the on focus revalidate. So this is where now we need to get like in chat together. Stale time, refetch on window focus. Turn the focus back on. So turn this thing back on. And then click away and back. It's still not going to stale. Yeah, like waiting. Still not going to stale at all, right? Oh, level up tutorials just went live. React query is weird. Okay, so I'm misunderstanding that. So there's something I'm not understanding with that. But I don't want this thing. I don't want that thing to do anything until I tell it to. Basically, is what I'm saying. And I would have thought the benefit of this also is that I can use this hook in another function, and it won't make an HTTP request. It will just grab it from the cache. Does that sound like it works that way? Because I want to do this same thing, but if it's already done this once, to not have to do that query again. So I guess this is where we'll check it out. So not in, so which page? This is going to, profile is going to the profile page. So here's profile. Let's get like all of this. And I don't need is loading in here because it should be done already. And I'm going to go grab the same stuff. And get rid of saved user there. Saved user and import that thing. React query. If you wanted to set it up via config, okay. Query config queries, query function is pass a key. By default, query results become stale immediately after a successful fetch. This can be configured. But Cube, why did I not see it switch over in the DevTools? That's okay. Yeah, okay, so you're confused. So yeah, I get the idea of what you're saying, but it just didn't seem to do what I thought it was going to. Look at the caching site. What caching site? At the bottom of, like, on the actual page. Let's go back to what did I do now? Oh, inside a profile. Match params. Oh, but also this is a little bit different because this shouldn't be just fetch username. It should be fetch user, and then it should be by the user also. Params.username. That's not actually where that comes from. This comes from user.sub. Check that in a second. Logged in user. Query is not defined. And this should be fetch user. Params. All right, let me go back to, you wanted to see like on a, oh, no, not that one, on this one. You wanted to see on this. All right, I'm pulling up the cache page. Caching is automatic out of the box. It uses stale while validate in-memory caching and a very robust query deduping strategy to always ensure query's data is always readily available. Only cache when it's needed, even if that query is used multiple times across an application. The cache is keyed on deterministic hash of your query key. Makes sense. Except for deterministic. I don't know what that means. By default, query results should become stale immediately after a successful fetch. This can be configured with stale time. Fair. Stale queries are automatically refreshed whenever their query keys change. Include variables used in query when they are freshly mounted from not having an instance on the page or when they are refetched via the query cache manually. Though a query result may be stale, query results are by default always cached when in use. If and when a query is no longer used, it becomes inactive and by default is cached background for 5 minutes. After a query is inactive, okay. I feel like, do other people feel like, did this come supernatural to you? Like, one, I feel like it's a mix of some things just don't do what I think I understand them to do. But then also, it just seems more complicated. And maybe I just am slow to pick it up. I don't know. So where did I end in here? So the public profile looks like we're okay. We want to turn caching is hard. Yeah, the idea of caching, that's where I'm kind of confused for myself. The idea of caching, I get. I just feel like I'm struggling to get it to make sense here. First time looking at React query for Taylor, Swallows, something's not really adding up. Yeah, something's not adding up for me. So SWR did not. It took me at least 6 months to get it. Okay, well, that makes me feel better. And like if I get it here, I imagine like SWR will make a lot more sense too. What does SWR stand for, by the way? Anything? All right, so this thing at least is not refreshing. I get the data that I want for the user profile. That's nice. Stale while revalidate. Gotcha. No, the idea of caching is not hard, but the fine tuning insane defaults is hard. Fair enough. Yeah. All right, so let's see what we get on the user profile. So, or the user's profile, not like the public profile page. So we're doing the same type of thing here. And what happens on this page when I run this? When I go to my profile page, what happens? All right, so this is saying cannot read property params of undefined. Is this a, is it params match? What is, actually this won't have, on the profile page, it won't have params at all. So we're not getting params for this one. James, see you Saturday on personal channel. James, you quick. If you haven't followed Auth0, follow Auth0. If you haven't followed James Q Quick, follow there. And maybe I'll see people this Saturday. All right, so this username is coming from the logged in user. I don't know. Let me log the logged in user. Let me see you. Is it user.sub? Okay, so it is user.sub. So logged in user. So this is making a request to get user, and it's saying username equals. But I don't want that. I want the username, and the username is the nickname. So not the sub, but the nickname. User nickname, and that should hopefully get us closer. Something's wrong. Our property params. Where is public profile showing? Am I showing the public profile in here? Edit profile. I am. Yes, I don't want that. Okay, so that's starting to get something. So I don't need to log out. I don't need to log out this thing. So this is basically going to have. Oh, and this is why I had the wrapper before. So I've got this weird thing of like the information that I want to show, and this should show the form and stuff now, which is nice. The information that I would show on this page is almost the same as what I want to show for the main part, or for the most part on this one. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just stay in edit mode. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll just leave this in edit. Show edit is, yeah, keep in edit mode with a save button. Okay. So I don't need to toggle on this edit or not. And we'll show the edit profile. And that might actually help a lot. Set show edit. Where am I referencing that? Here. Okay, so there, I'll move this thing down on my profile page. So there's the edit stuff. And then I also want to throw in that profile image. And I guess just copying this doesn't really hurt. So here is this thing. And need the same imports. Thanks for sticking around and helping come up with this stuff, by the way. I think it sounds like we're all learning, which is good. I am going to have a shit ton of stuff that I've learned by the end of this project, trying out new stuff. So always in edit mode, like here is my users page. I can update that. And then now what I need to do is update this thingy to be an editable profile image. And I don't know, does anybody know like a good, like a drag and drop library to upload images? Let me know that, because I'm going to need that. Also, Chris on Code is still streaming, which I am too, obviously. And we are supposed to actually have a call together in a few minutes. I'm going to check in on him to see. Let's see if he remembers that we're supposed to have a call together, because he's still going. He's going for a long time. React drop zone. I have to rewrite an application that is written in one JS file. Gross. React drop zone sounds interesting and sounds maybe exactly what I'm looking for. You used drop zone before? Sweet. Let's see, 915,000 downloads. That seems like it will work. And so if I'm looking to, so is it just drag and drop, or can you also like use a drop, like click a drop zone to do like an image upload thingy also, like to choose it from your file system if you, okay, so it does both. Is there a demo of this? I just want to see visually what it looks like. Let's see. Do they have a demo on the homepage for GitHub? React drop zone.js.org. Sweet. I hope this is what I've been looking for. Oh, does it have a demo on here? Examples. Oh, perfect. Cool. Yes. Oh, was it at the top and I just missed it? Is it at the top? Documentation and examples. Is that not where I am? That is where I am. But I guess, like if I scroll down now I see it. Where was it? Down here? Yeah. Sweet. Okay. That's cool. Yay. I'm freaking excited about this. Great. So how do we install this? There we go. Grab that. They have more examples. Sweet. I will get to that. Install the thing, and then can I just grab their damn example and see what they got? So here is view code. Files equals drop zone without click events. Drop zone with keyboard events, space enter, and focus events are disabled. Drop zone without click events. No, you can prevent the default behavior for click keyboard events if you omit. Could you? Yeah, sorry about that. Good point. And this documentation is like, the font on the site is smaller than usual too. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. Great question. So here's the last thing. Last thing that I might want is that the real kubectl. Cube, are you a famous person? No, you're not. So who is kubectl, like a person or a thing that I? Okay, so who is like a Kubernetes thing? Okay, interesting. I just pulled it up on the other tab. All right, so not the real kubectl, just a fan. Fair enough. So here's the last question I have with this. So I want to, and you have to help me kind of figure out how this works. I want to show their profile image if they have one. Otherwise, I want to show this thingy. But I also want to, if they have an existing profile image, I want to show it, but then also still be able to drag and drop on top of it. Does that work? Does that make sense? FY, you can restrict file types. Perfect. Yes, because I want to make sure these are just images. Yeah, you wrap the image. Huh. Okay. All right, let's get started. And actually, I'm going to have to cut this in, like, honestly, whenever Chris stops, which I'm thinking he's, like, not going to. So I'll just keep an eye on Chris to see when he stops and when, and I'll get off with him. I'll just stop when you do. Okay, so what was the first example I have? And this is going to be my first PR. So the Kubernetes ecosystem suite. Drops on files. All right, if I start up here, my drop zone on drop, do something with these files. Under the hood, lib makes use of hooks, requires, fair enough, or the wrapper component for the hook. don't want that. I want this thingy. You can either use the hook. So maybe should I create my own component for user image upload component and throw this whole thing in there? And then in the edit profile, let's throw in, you can see there's my upload stuff from before. Let's throw in the, what did I call it? User image upload. All right, is that up and running? / maybe working. So on this page, refresh. Cannot find module components because we are in the pages directory. We want to go back. Nope, another thing. User image upload does not contain. Oh. Export default. So here's the drop. Is there styling that I need to do with it? Okay. So I can at least do that. And if I grab my Finder, there's the use drop zone hook, which gives you get root props to spread on the container. Yeah, a class name to get root props. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to like continue to do some digging of making this do exactly what I want, but it sounds like people are pretty confident that this will actually do what I want. So I can continue to kind of slug away and figure this out later on. So if there we go. And so that, like, you couldn't see what just happened, but it did something. And inside of my user upload image, let's just log out the accepted files. So I'm dragging an image on right now, and then I should see that in the console. There's a file. Okay, this is pretty sweet. I'm getting excited about this. Okay, so let's grab, I've got all these tabs open. I'm going to close a bunch of stuff. I guess I can leave up React Query and then React Drop Zone. So there's the hook, and here's where I'll get the files. Now, if I have, would you expect, if you're editing your profile image, would you expect if you drag an image on there that it automatically saves it, or would you expect to click save? I'm thinking that I was going to have to do a save, but now I'm thinking, no, we don't need to. Like if you decide to drag an image on there, like you've made a decision, and there's not really a reason to test it out. It's like I would expect it to just automatically save. Does that make sense? And if that's the case, that like simplifies logic because I don't need to have like a save button otherwise. What if you misdrag? Yeah, I mean, it could happen. Do you think that's a reasonable enough like concern? Like drag something wrong, like your your private picture that you don't want to share. So do you think that's enough of a reason to not automatically save? Maybe need a way to delete too. That's fair. I mean, I feel like if you drag the wrong picture, drag on another one is kind of what I was thinking. But, and that's another thing that I don't really have control over is making sure that people's images that they upload are actually of their desks. There's no way for me to like really know that. But I will delete the old one. So these these images automatically delete themselves. So I want to make sure, like in my storage in Cloudinary, that there's only one image per user. So anytime someone uploads an image, I delete the previous image and upload the new one. So that would take care of that. But I'm still curious whether or not you think I should have an explicit save button instead of automatically saving. And that might very well be the case. And is there any, like UI wise, in this case, I guess it's fine to autosave. Yeah, but the user also won't necessarily know that, right? Like I don't have a way to communicate that I delete the older one. Maybe we'll just do it like this, and then we'll see if like I can update it later on. So we'll start simple and then update later on. So what does this go? If you want access to the file contents, you'll have to use the file reader. So I'm actually doing that to a certain extent, and in my upload. So I started to do, not that one, the upload user. Oh, it's funny how I name these things different. So upload user image. So I do some of this stuff in here. It's not like you delete their bank statements. It's just a pic of their desk, assuming they are only uploading pictures of their desk and not like something else. So we'll say const file equals accepted file size of 0. Probably will have some sort of limitation on that. E.target value is null. I can skip that right now. Yeah, I've wondered if I can tie in. I will try to tie in some sort of OCR thing, and Cloudinary has APIs to do that. So maybe that's what I'll try to do. Actually, I think you have to pay for those though, which kind of sucks. So here's my accepted file. I don't have my alert stuff inside of this component. I need to add that. Actually, I can just import it. So inside of upload, where is, oh, not that one, but this one. So use alert and grab alert here. Oh, Taylor, you were joking? Yeah, actually, I wanted that to be a part of it to make sure that people are uploading appropriate images in some capacity. All right, I'm gonna log this thing for now. So there's the reader.result, and basically what I'm getting out of this is literally just the raw base64 string representation of an image, and that's what I'm hoping to see in here. So I'm going to drag on an image, and I think we got it. It's a lot of information, which makes sense, but there's the base64 representation of that thingy. So it's at least pulling it up. That's cool. And I wonder, can I then pull in, so on the edit profile, I grab this, and actually I don't need the modal anymore. User profile form. Where am I getting the image from? Custom style, set upload visible. Is React drop zone a must have to achieve this? Not necessarily. But I think it's going to be like, I had something working that I wasn't in love with. So this looks nicer than what I had going. So I think having a drag and drop is a nice feature. I think it works well. So it's not a must have, but especially if it's going to do the majority of the stuff for me, I think it's good. Looks like you use AWS recognition for machine learning. Yeah. There's lots of different options I could use too, including some of the options in Cloudinary. All right, so here's my user image upload. Where is, if I go to the profile form, is that showing the image? Form, no. What is, now I'm confused. What's actually showing this image? Where is that coming from? This is on the edit profile. This is profile. Oh, it shows the profile component. And then I get this thing. There we go. Yeah, thank you. So I want to move that to the user profile upload thingy. And for right now, I'm just going to set these two next to each other because I don't quite understand how they fit together. I want to, and I will at some point, but not yet. So let's grab this import, bring it up here. And then the last thing is the saved user. So I need the image ID if there is one. I'm using data URL for that. For the upload of the image, yes. And the reason is I was having issues. You can't do certain things in serverless functions with like a post body. So the only way I could do it is to upload it as a base URL or a base64 URL string. That's why I had to do it that way. Soccer, this project is not only exclusively on here. I'm doing this on both. And then I will have some sort of project in October. I don't know if you're here for this, of trying to guide the community into doing a project so that we can all do Hacktoberfest together. So yeah. Doesn't look like Cloudinary has customizable ML moderation. They have some existing APIs that you can use and integrate with, though. I just think you have to pay for them separately, which kind of sucks. So I don't have a great solution to that yet, but I will. All right, so let's say that well, one, we should upload or update this user image upload and existing image ID or something like that. So if there is, they have a size limit of 1 megabyte. Who has a size limit of 1 megabyte? Who has that limit? Data URLs in general. Chris on Code rated, which is amazing. This would be super exciting if, well, it's still exciting. But Chris, if you check your calendar, we're supposed to meet together right now. And so I was waiting for you to get off, for me to get off. But welcome, everyone. Thanks for the rate. I appreciate it. This is funny. What's going on, everybody? We are working on dev setups. This cool project with Cloudinary and React and Netlify serverless functions and all kinds of stuff. Actually, Chris, do you want to come on the stream? I could totally do that right now. Right into array. James, check it out. We built a Google Reader. Chris, come on the stream. Can I send you? I'm gonna send you the invite right now, and you're gonna come on. I'm sending it to you in Slack, or not in Slack. Why did I say that? In Discord. I sent you a DM in Discord. Everybody, cross your fingers. Hope to die. Don't hope to die. That's weird. Yeah, not Slack. In Discord. Cross your fingers. Chris on Code should be here in a minute. Actually, Kapehe, you want to come hang out too? Are y'all sitting right next to each other? Why don't you come hang out too, if you want? This is the beautiful thing about like StreamYard is I can just throw a link and people can get in. Come hang out. I'll send you the message too, or the link. Let me get to it. Let me get to a DM with you. Okay, you like haven't chatted in that chat in a while. I had to scroll back through for a long time. All right, so people in. Oh, Chris is here. Add to the stream. Boom. Can you hear me?
Ah. Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. We're good.
We're good. Yeah, last time I did a StreamYard, my computer exploded. So let's see how it goes.
Were you hosting it? Well, I guess it didn't. Really matter. I don't know.
It didn't matter. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know.
Are you still using StreamYard yourself?
Yeah, not on my personal streams because I really like those emojis that fly around.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's easy. Like, I think for us, like as a team, it's easy to have StreamYard because people don't have to know a whole lot about like OBS and other stuff. And it's just easy to jump on and not have to worry about it. But I do my personal streams because I don't have a paid StreamYard on Streamlabs, and I still don't have as much like fancy Twitchy stuff, but I should, and I want to. Kapea, you should definitely jump on, by the way. And I don't know, is Jameson, were you in my stream already, or did you raid over from Chris? Because Chris, I was talking about your name several times because how we're supposed to meet, and I was like, yeah, he's still going for like 2 hours now.
Oh wait, was our meeting like?
Yeah. That's why I was cracking up, because it was like awesome that you raided with so many people. And then I was like, yeah, we're also supposed to like get off and talk to each other.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, we made it. And Kapei, jump on if you're still there. So Jameson is like, who is this Chris on Code guy here? He's a scammer. I'm thinking that's a sarcastic comment now that I read it in context a little bit more. So what did you sent me a link to the thing? Came over with Chris. It was a joke. Yeah, I'm like oblivious to jokes apparently. What was the link? You said you built a Google Reader app?
Google Reader clone, yeah.
So is this like stripping out or no, this is like a feed of like aggregate.
Yeah, so we basically, yeah, this is homage to Google Reader. Yeah, we have an API on the back end and built all that from scratch. So
sweet. What
funny. This is
what's up?
Can you guys hear me? I'm
Yeah.
just using my computer mic and all that. I was trying to do headphones, but they're not working.
Headphones are the worst. I don't believe in headphones. Actually, I wish they hurt my head on ear headphones, which really sucks.
You're wearing head.
Well, I meant like over ear headphones, like big ones. Because I got the Audio Technica ones, Chris, that you sent me like 2 years ago, or like told me to get, and I like them. They just hurt my head. So
yeah, they're more like studio monitors more than like daily drivers.
Yeah, that's fair. And I've got like a couple of different pairs of Beats, but all of them just hurt my head. I don't know. I'm lame.
I had a meeting today, and Brian, I don't know if you guys know B-Rob.
Yeah, I know him before you did. Teammates with him.
Oh, yeah, sure. He was talking about these headphones that they were noise canceling, but they weren't like noise canceling. They just pressed really hard on your head to try and like cancel out the noise. So that was a fail.
Noise canceling.
Yeah, noise canceling.
You can't hear anything if you're passed out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So what, Chris, what were you using for this project? Like what technologies?
So we're doing a bunch of demo apps for DigitalOcean, and the backend is a Django API that my DevRel counterpart at DigitalOcean did, Mason. So we did the Django API, and then I did React and Tailwind on the front end.
Sweet. Okay. So I heard you call out when I was listening to your stream earlier, Mason a couple times. So that's he's on the DevRel team.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's basically us two plus our manager.
Sweet. Nice.
Yeah. How big is Auth0's DevRel team? I know I was just there, but
it's not been that long.
I know.
So we're 6. So it's me, Tyler, and Sam, Julene, who we've decided on Amera Sam for America Sam. And so that's 3. And then we've got Ben, Anna, and Euro Sam for European Sam. So 6.
Oh, okay.
And then Jared being I called Jared joined like for the virtual booth in Cascadia JS the other day. And I said, like, my manager's here. like out of respect for him being a manager, and he was like, "Oh, I'm the manager now." I was like, "No, you're just one of the people, one of the cool people."
Yeah, we're a team of 2, plus manager Canute. He'll be so mad. Yeah, he's one of the. There's 3 of us.
He's one of the people. He was the only DevRel person for months, I guess, however long.
Well, for years.
Years, okay.
Yeah, he did the Sanity DevRel. He held down the fort for 2 years, and then Brian and I joined around the same time, so like June and July of this year. So
that was a fun process for me because I got to like hear both of you as you were going through the process, and I was like, no way they're gonna hire 2 people, and then all of a sudden it just worked out. It's pretty sweet.
It worked out, and it's a good team.
Because I don't know if I told you, but both of you had told me before either one of you knew that they were hiring too, that both of you thought you were getting the job, and I was like, somebody's gonna be really disappointed.
Oh, can you imagine? You're like, oh, but
yeah,
he said and he said, and then both of us are like, we got it.
Yeah,
like,
so I was trying to be good friends on both sides and like not give away anything and not like, I don't know. It was super cool the way it worked out. So
yeah.
Cube is asking what we're talking about. Yeah, we've completely derailed the conversation into a whole different world of just like DevRel in general. So Kapehe started her role at Sanity July. Who was
July.
first? July.
Yeah,
Okay. And so at the same time that she was applying, like I had another friend who her teammate, B-Rob, Brian, they were both applying, both going through the process, both doing really well. And they both were saying like, yeah, we think, I was going to do that in a second with like everybody at the same time. Like they both thought they were going to get the job. And I was like, who's going to get the job? Not knowing, none of us knew that they were actually going to hire 2 people. So it worked out really cool. Can we coordinate like 1, 2, 3 dab for everybody? And is someone in the chat to clip and record this for like all time history? That was a very loud ding, by the way.
Sorry, that's me. They're so loud.
It's all good.
I put on Do Not Disturb on my computer and it still's like, we're still going to send you the sound, just not the little banner thing. I'm like, okay.
So that's confusing for me too. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't want that recorded, right? I mean, isn't that what? I mean, I guess I don't care. I feel like that's the only fun people have on Twitch is like when they get to record people doing random shit.
Yeah.
Or like the most fun they have. All right.
My arms are getting hyped for this dab.
Yeah.
So
let me like stretch.
I gotta move my mic for these things.
I know. Yeah. All right. So let's mics away for a minute. Take a 3-second planning phase and relaxation. Deep breath.
Make sure you stretch.
Yeah. I don't want like it's tough getting old. Like a little side to side thing. Little like
you don't want to pull anything.
All right. We ready? All right. 1, 2. Oh, you can do it. You got it. Go.
3, 2, 1.
We're getting good at that.
It's hard to dab into your non-dominant hand.
I don't think I've ever.
Try it.
So there's that one, and then the other way.
Kind of feels. This one feels right. This one doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it's like, have you ever done like you do your hands like this, and then if you switch it to like one over, then it feels really awkward.
Or you fold your arms the other way.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm usually like this, and then this feels dumb. Like who would do this?
Yeah. Why would you put this hand in front?
Now I want to drain my eyes in bleach. That's very aggressive. Like very aggressive.
No, they're just playing.
I'm sure. Yeah. Q's been hanging out. So we were doing some cool stuff, by the way.
Yeah, what were we doing?
I want to show you what we were doing. Shout out to the Google Reader here, by the way, on Netlify. Awesome.
Yeah.
So like, have you heard me talk about the dev setups app thingy that I'm building?
No.
So you know how on Twitter people go through these phases of like everybody show their desk setups and you get like 100 comments of people's pictures and stuff. I just wanted a place where people could list them out and like have a list that like persists, so we don't have to like keep doing this like Twitter thread thingy.
I see.
Sweet.
So like this doesn't look great now, but you can sign in with your Twitter profile. So it's got Auth0 Twitter login.
Okay.
Classic.
Familiar with this? Love it.
classic. Why would we even think to do that? So you log in with Twitter and need a better loading state than that. But here we go. So here's all the images. You can click on an image and go to someone's like public profile. So this will grab, I think, their information. So it'll show like their image, as well as a link to their user or a link to their Twitter, and they can input a uses link. So this like not too different from uses.tech from Wes Boss. Yeah. So it's similar, but the main thing is like we just want to have like an aggregation of images. So that's the main reason. And then their ZPK is asking about, is there a gear list? So that's what that link would be used for. So if I come to my profile, which is what we were just looking at, I have the ability to enter my uses link there, and the description will actually come from Twitter. So we'll have the description there for people to see as well. And then so you could use that to have people go to your uses page and see the gear that you use. So what I was just looking at is I had the ability to upload images, and I wanted to add like a drag and drop type thing and have a placeholder image like this. And so now this you won't really see much because I just started working on the drag and drop, but there's React Drop Zone package, which was new to me that someone shared, and drop it in here. And now you can see there's a base 64 version of the image that I'm going to submit to the server, which will then submit to Cloudinary. It will update a user profile thing in Airtable.
Airtable. I want to use them. I want to try them out. I haven't.
You should. It's like so many of my demos now. It's just way easier to do this. So it will upload the image to Cloudinary. It will save the image ID inside of Airtable, and this is where the uses link is as well. And that's basically it. Oh, and I started using Tailwind for the first time. So I switched over to Tailwind the other day.
Okay.
And I'm trying it out.
What is there a reason you used React Drop Zone over the Cloudinary widget? So I would love to have this conversation. So the Cloudinary widget, and Chris, you did this in Scotch, right? Like you used the widget from Cloudinary in Scotch. Yep. So you can't do any sort of controlled upload through the widget. And what I mean is you can't, it's in the browser, so you can't include an API key. So that means like someone could grab that code, if you have the preset that you have to use for it that is open, someone could grab that preset and they could go and use the upload thing on any page that they want to and upload a bunch of shit to Cloudinary. No, I think that you can domain secure it. On where do you configure that? Cloudinary dashboard somewhere. You can say only uploads from like these 3 URLs. If that's true, then I will go back and do that. Because I really like, and I asked this to like some Cloudinary people and in the MDE board, and I didn't get, not board, Discord, and like didn't get a great answer of how to prevent that. So are you saying like in the presets you can define domains? Strict referral, allowable admin API, management console. Is this? I don't think this will show an API key. Like, okay, is there a domain on here? Yeah, if you find a way to limit that based on domain, I'm all about it. The only other potential thing is I want to clean up previous images. Like as they upload an image, I want to delete their previous one because I only want to have one image per user in Cloudinary just for storage. Like I don't want to take up too much space for no reason. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's another thing I need to do. Upload control. I swear I thought they did. It might be under security, but it looks like security is only where you can view, not upload.
And everyone just gets one image, you're saying, James?
Yeah, and I've debated about like having multiple, but right now it's just kind of like, this is basically like your profile image is what it's going to be. And it may expand beyond that. But
also,
yeah,
I think Cloudinary's free plan is super generous, right?
it's true. And I've got some extra credits just from being in like the MDE program too, but just, I didn't want to like spam it for no reason, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what like I'm probably being a little dramatic because like people, what I'm worried about happening could happen, but it like most likely won't. Like, cause I don't think it ever happened to you with Scotch where people just threw up a million images for no reason. But
oh yeah, Scotch got hit with so much spam, but
through Cloudinary?
Yeah, Cloudinary and
shit.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. Spam is everywhere.
Were you able to stop it, or like how'd you fix it?
Well, there's that one day that you were like,
weird stuff.
Yeah, you were shut down for like a day or something for a while, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Brian.
Brian. We just went through your whole hiring process story.
Yeah.
Question from, I guess I'm assuming Jameson. How do you plan on monitoring it from douchebags? Yeah, that's kind of, so one of the things, avoiding like bulk spam was the reason I went the way I've gone. The second thing is I want to tie in some like machine learning APIs or like OCR stuff to see if it includes like a monitor or a desk or something like that. If it doesn't, I want to tell them no, but that's a little bit longer term. You've been saying, I don't know. Is it James or Jameson?
Oh.
Or maybe it's just James N. I just make up stuff. Canute is here, by the way.
Hi,
what's up, Canute?
Hey, Canute.
Welcome. Now I'm like waiting to see what James/Jameson says his appropriate name is. Okay, so Chris, you don't see a way that I can do any limitation?
No, I'm surprised the MDE Discord didn't have an answer though.
Yeah, it basically made me think that I couldn't go the route that I was going, or I couldn't go the route of preventing bulk spamming, and using the upload widget, because the upload widget is freaking awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that should be its own like standalone package that you can get more control over and like upload it wherever you want, if that makes sense. By the way, it's James instead of Jameson. I tried.
Oh,
you got a DigitalOcean hat on?
Matt also in chat is saying you could fake the source URL of where the upload comes from, so that wouldn't be the best security, which makes sense. And then SwagCap, I actually don't know where. I wish I could hand him out. Matt, do you know?
Which one? Oh, I don't like that one.
That's weird.
No, I don't like that one.
Oops.
And then you use Tailwind for this.
I did. So I did one thing. I recorded 90% of a Next.js and Auth0 video that has a little to-do app that the final product is actually using Airtable also, and has like full authentication and stuff with Next.js. And I had like a starter branch where I just added authentication with Auth0. Recorded that. It uses Tailwind, which is cool. And I'm thinking I might turn that into like a little mini series for YouTube of like building that from scratch. So it'll like set up Tailwind, set up Airtable, set up Auth0, put it all together, which I think will be cool.
Yeah, the React guide that I just launched yesterday has Tailwind. It's like a little like cherry on top, the dessert at the end of the guide.
Yeah, nice.
I like Tailwind.
I have your article, so I'll show you my desktop again. I have intentionally, so that I don't forget it, I have left your article up here as a tab. I haven't read it yet, but since you posted about it yesterday, I have left it open, and I will not close it until I sit down and read the whole thing. So
James,
shout out to Sanity and Canute and Brian and Kapehe for her. This is your first one that you've done?
The first guide, yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah.
I have no idea if it's any good because I haven't read it yet, but I will read it.
James, drop that link in the chat.
Yes. Drop in the link. Also, I realized we are also on YouTube. I don't think I've had one person comment on YouTube. I wonder if we haven't had any viewers from YouTube at all today.
Mm.
No hard feelings, YouTubers.
Oh, we're streaming to YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, let me head over.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Twitch version of it.
My computer is exploding right now.
Your video and audio is coming through a little like odd.
My wonky?
Yeah.
It's the background.
Yeah. What is that? Is that from a specific thing or is that just a generic office?
Archer.
Archer. I've never seen Archer. Got to try that Twitter restream. Auth. What do you mean by Twitter restream?
Yeah.
I have seen people like streaming Twitch onto Twitter and it shows up in the Twitter app.
You can live stream to Twitter too.
What? Since when?
Let's try it.
Didn't they have Periscope?
Let's go. Was that them? I don't know.
Yeah. I just did. I haven't. You can do it. I just haven't seen anybody do like until recently the Twitch to Twitter stuff, which is really cool.
Huh. I had no idea this existed.
Yeah, Brian, you're revealing all of our secrets. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, never heard of it. And then you're the first person to do it. Also, Canute mentioned the UTM tags in here. Is this just because I opened it from Twitter, I guess?
I guess.
So
I
source.
created that, so.
Oh, did you create the link and that's the link that got shared in the post or in the tweet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Twitter doesn't add it directly. You create. Okay. Gotcha.
For like tracking and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not that well versed at UTM stuff, which I guess you did a lot with like the Auth0 blog, right?
Yeah, but also I had to learn a lot about it as well from a coworker at Sanity. I was like, please walk me through UTM tags.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, next time that person wants to do a public one and bring me into it and teach me also, I'd be down. What if I get rid of these tags now?
Yeah, UTMs are tough to remember.
Yeah. You got a comment from Taylor. The blog post looks great. You should come speak about Sanity at our next meetup after James speaks next month. So Taylor runs a meetup in Jacksonville. Is that where it is in Florida?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So I'll let you make your connection.
Yeah,
and y'all can figure out.
DM me on Twitter. I can't because I'm not logged in, so I like can't access. Can somebody put in my Twitter?
Yes.
I don't want to like mess anything up by like logging in and then it kicks me off or something. But yeah, Taylor, if
Chris is on top of
it.
Yeah, so the React Jacksonville is the meetup that he runs. And I'm speaking, Taylor, I still have to send you what I'm talking about sometime in October. I've got 3 or 4, depending on how you look at it, speaking engagements on September 15th, which is super stressful.
Yeah, I also have. How many did you say you had? I was reading the comment.
Never pay attention.
I was reading the UTM source that Chris put in. James super duper awesome.
Nice. Love it.
It's gonna be like one link click in Google Analytics.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Now I'm switching, getting distracted by comments. So so 4 things. So I was supposed to go to Vanderbilt to speak at my, I guess not technically for them, it's for a boot camp that they run. So I was going to go and like be there in person and do like some, just like a lunch chat during the day and then a Q&A panel at night. And then I had a couple like React Summit has gotten rescheduled to September 15th. And then Joel Lord, who used to work at Auth0 and is now at VM stuff. VMware? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, I think.
I'm double checking this because I don't think that's not actually right. Anyway, he's running Dev Nation. Red Hat is where he's at. He's running Dev Nation and they're doing their conference that day. So I have like kind of the lunch chats virtually and then React Summit and then Dev Nation and then the Q&A panel at night. So it's going to be fun.
Cool. That sounds like
See you, Brian.
a pack.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Swarlow is saying domain whitelisting is only available for premium users on Cloudinary. Interesting. They paywall a security feature that can likely be bypassed super easily. Maybe. I guess that's what Matt was saying before, is you can spam or like trick that stuff in like a Postman request or Insomnia, as Chris prefers.
Insomnia.
Question in the chat: besides React, Airtable, Auth0, and Cloudinary, what is other cool stuff you can share? Like trendy stuff you guys like?
Sanity.
I don't have a pen.
Yeah. Find you. I'm not dropping this mic. This mic is expensive. So other stuff, FaunaDB. Chris has talked about wanting to do stuff with that recently. Next.js for me is something I'm working with a lot. What else? MongoDB's got some really cool stuff that Auth0's been showing off. They do like serverless functions now and all kinds of wild stuff.
Yeah.
What else have I been looking at? Blitz.js, Redwood.js. I'm trying to get a stream on Blitz.js. I think next week. I think he's free next week. So be ready on my personal channel for those that are interested. So be ready for that. What else? Anybody else in the chat got cool stuff that they're using, working with?
Notion.
Have you?
Not really tech, but I mean, I'm using it for everything now.
Yeah. Is the API out yet?
No.
Okay, so you're still waiting on that.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I'm still in the Notes app that comes default with the computer?
I have some stuff in there. I have some stuff in Notion too, but I don't use it as well as I should or could, I guess.
It's just there. It's so easy.
Yeah, I have a random note in there where I just dump stuff in and eventually like clean it out. Yeah. Shout out to the Notes app. Yeah, he knows.
I know a cool one, Chris, the command spacebar thing that you've been doing, the Alfred.
Oh, Alfred. Yep. Love Alfred.
So what are your top use cases for Alfred?
I have it set up where I can do console commands, terminal commands from like what is the Spotlight, I guess. Right.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Super cool there. And then I also have it set up to do like my to-do list stuff. It can open like GitHub repo. It can pretty much do everything that I need to do, except like I won't have to open Chrome, go to GitHub, go to find a repo. Like I can do everything I usually do in one command. So
do you like alias commands to take you to a GitHub repo?
No, so there's like these workflow things that you add on, and like there's like a GitHub search workflow. There's like a I don't know, a bunch of random ones. Yeah.
So I have Alfred installed, and I've just never quite known what to do. And like James's comment, everybody's like, Alfred's so amazing, you'll never want to use Spotlight again. And I've had it like Alfred on here for like a couple of years, and I still like I don't know what I'm using it for. But the GitHub workflow sounds really nice, actually.
Yeah.
James, when you move to Alfred officially, I will move with you because I need to make that leap as well.
Well, all right, so let's do this. How do I do a workflow? How do you add the GitHub workflow thing, Chris?
Do you want to do a whole stream on it later?
All right, let's do a whole stream on it later.
Now I have to prep because I don't know what I'm saying half the time on Alfred.
All right, fair enough. I'm glad that you're such an advocate for it.
I just like shiny things, you know?
Nothing wrong with that. Imagine having a Mac, Cube says. And then we got another comment. It's much more powerful. See, those are the things I've heard for years. And I just haven't known like what things make the most sense for me.
Yeah.
How many people do we still have it down to like 20? This is cool. Do you want to get off and like hang out and chat with ourselves off stream?
I'm like losing it. I came off of that 3-hour stream.
Yeah, you just streamed for 3 hours.
Well, I was wondering when you were going to be done, and it just kept going. I was like, dang.
No, it was a fun one. Like we made some cool stuff, but
Yeah.
I didn't even eat breakfast.
Have you eaten anything?
Nah, not nothing. Your guys running on coffee and fumes.
That sucks.
Thanks for bringing us on, James.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. We should do this more. Like, I should bring on random people on the Auth0 stream just because it's so easy.
Yeah,
and I feel like
spur of the moment.
Yeah, makes for a nice like switch it up a little bit. I think.
How many can StreamYard support?
I don't 10. I don't know.
All right. Next time we do one, we'll just tweet the link.
Yeah.
Just take the first 10 that get on.
Yeah.
You can have 10 people in the stream.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like as wild as that sounds, or as like dumb as that sounds, that's also sounds super fun.
Yeah.
If we could control it a little bit, so I know it won't be like actual just random idiots that come on.
As the admin of the StreamYard, are you able to like kick people off?
I can take you out of the stream. Yeah, and I can mute you. You're muted.
No.
Now you're back.
Now
yeah.
you can. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I like StreamYard.
Yeah, StreamYard it's a streaming software in the browser. That like literally to get them on, I just gave them a link to the stream, and then they come on, and then I add them to the stream, and that's it. So who is it? Cube asked that. It's just super easy, all browser based. Works really nice. It's more like if I had tried to figure this out for bringing you on to like through Streamlabs, it would have really sucked. And I don't have a setup to do more than 2 people on Streamlabs.
And it's just very easy to like start sharing your screen and like go back and I don't know, it just seems.
Yep, because I can do all of this stuff, just switching between random tabs.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I can make myself the center of attention, obviously. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna raid. Let's raid over to Level Up Tutorials. I think this might be his first one, maybe.
Is he up?
Yeah, let's go check it out. Thanks everybody for hanging out, by the way, on the Auth0 channel. Follow if you haven't already. Chris, I want to mention this later on, but I'm going to do some sort of like community initiative to try to do streams centered around building a project with a community where people can get their PRs for Hacktoberfest. And I want to do that through the Auth0 stream.
Oh,
so maybe we can talk about how to like help promote that a little bit. And anyway, so thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I had fun, and I'm going to try to type out Level Up Tutorials. I don't know why they don't give you like IntelliSense for raids. Like you literally just are kind of on your own.
It does. If
But you got 8 seconds to tell me how.
It's the no, in the Twitch dashboard, the creator dashboard, there's a button that says raid now, and it'll give you the list. So if you don't do it through the chat.
Oh, if you're in the dashboard. Okay. I will be more prepared for that later on. All right. We're signing off.
See you later, Butch.
Talk to you all later. Bye.
Later, James.
And actually, we're still in here, but in broadcast.